Hi, buddy. Welcome. Probably only going to have time for one game, unfortunately. I was wanting to get a few more in here today, but I was just really busy. Got caught up with just a bunch of adulting things. But we'll see if we can get a win in here. Jason, unfortunately, won't be able to join us. He was also busy with a bunch of stuff this afternoon, but we're here. We're going to try to get a win. So hopefully those of you that can stop by and say hey, it's always a plus. Let me turn on the fan here. Twitter, man, it's so weird. Okay. Every time I just announce that the stream's going on Twitter or X or whatever, it's just always some weird post. It's unsettling, as people would say, sort of post. Now, I think we're pretty close on this account. We've been kind of flirting with getting back into Emerald here. I don't remember if we're 1 game or 2 games away or what. I think we got run over by the Trendamere last game, right? Yeah. So we're about 2 games out here. We're still doing pretty well. But that game, that dude was like 17-2 or something. Yeah, literally 17-2. I had not seen a player just run over the game like that before. And not in a while. And it didn't even seem like he was smurfing that hard. He just had a good Trendamere game. Yeah, I mean, he's running it in these games. He just, I guess, the guy he was laning against is just really bad or inexperienced, or the dude just got lucky or something. I don't know. So yeah, definitely seems like he has very hit or miss. I mean, look at that. Back-to-back games. 4-13, 12-2. It's like the consummate. I'm going to either hard dominate a game or I'm going to chain feed. Guess that's kind of what Trendamere is, though. What was the other? Oh, the other guy was like that off meta. The Trendamere, I believe, was against this guy. This dude was like, yeah, 5-11, I guess. He was way worse than that earlier. He was like, I don't know, 0-6 against Trendamere in lane. And then we almost had a chance to kind of come back, but it's unfortunate. We don't have a lot of CC for that game for Trendamere, right? I'm like the only CC pretty much, and he's just going to run over Gwen because her, tricks don't do anything to him. Same thing with Leah. So it's really a bad matchup. Somebody you just do not want to get fed. I thought about dodging because of the vampire. It's like that was the first and only time that person has played that. Yeah. So, I don't know. I probably should be using my dodges more, but I just play so few games. I mean, I guess that's even more of a reason to use the dodge. Because I think the first dodge is still 5 points. And I think I'm gaining like 37 and losing 20 or something right now. My God, why is this taking 5 minutes to find a game? People have been saying League is dying forever. Let me see here. Now, Tyler 1, I don't think has consistently been playing League, so that's probably going to hurt League's stats quite a bit. It's still number 1. People always talking trash. Oh, League's dying, blah, blah, blah. Still the most, watched game. By a pretty large margin, too. Was this last 30 days? 7 days. I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds is obviously a new title. It's a big new AAA title. That's gonna, go down at some point. Dota's been rising up a little bit more lately. But League still has, like, more than 50% more viewers. GTA 5 is just always... I've never actually watched that or played that. I've heard it's pretty good, but... It's crazy to me that a game like that, that's not even really, like, a competitive game, still has high viewership. I've heard there's, like, a lot of, drama and intrigue and stuff like that in it. And then Valorant, that's supposed to be the game that Riot really cares about and doesn't care about League anymore. According to the haters, League still has, more than 30% views of Valorant, 130% of what they have. So, yeah, League's not what it once was, but no games are. People just aren't watching the same number, with the same amount that they used to. I think a lot of people are just doing other stuff. COVID was just obviously like a massive spike. But I don't know what the rest of it would, like, why numbers are, maybe numbers aren't as low across the board as I think. Maybe it's just more diversified with the games. I don't know. It'd be interesting, can we see by year? Okay, here we go. Oh, is this how many viewers there are versus how many streamers there are? Okay, so there used to be way more viewers than streamers. There just weren't that many streamers. I guess, obviously, when it opened. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I feel, too. There's so many streams and, like, YouTube channels. Like, when Total War first came out, there were just, like, a handful of people that were doing Total War. Especially kind of the legendary campaigns and stuff that I did. That helped out a ton. But now, after joining, especially, I was part of their little creator program for a few years there until they changed it, and I just didn't bother to renew. I was like, damn, who are all these people? There were like 50, at least 50 to 100 content creators, and I looked up a bunch of them, and many of them, they're like at least 10,000 subs, many of them higher than me. So I was like, God, it's just so competitive almost anywhere. But it looks like the overall views are still up. 3 million or whatever. They went up for COVID, but they're still really far up. They may be slightly down from the peak. But I guess it's just more diversified. People are just watching different things. Because there's so many more streamers, too. Because the views went up, but the streams also went up. Hey. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, we'll just do recon. We won't try to do anything fancy here.
Let's dance.
Okay, hang on. We'll be right back. 1 second. But I do still love doing it, even though obviously just a shadow of my former self in terms of viewer count and content and all that. I kind of got to make a decision. Been talking about before what I want to do. Kind of moving forward when they put me back on 2 classes per. Supposedly starting next year. Just kind of see what's going on, but like one option, yeah, Sixth Sense is horrible. Don't ever get that ring, guys. Deepborn is okay, but Grizzly Mementos is probably just the place to be. But one of the options that I could try to do is I could try to, you know, grow the channel again, do a lot more content. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if I was more consistent with it, and if I just, you know, kind of reinvigorated, rediscovered my niche, I'd love to do like some prof talks. I've been wanting to do that for a while. If I can get the time just to talk on, you know, different, not necessarily current events. I wouldn't necessarily want to do anything like super political, probably, but just different ideas or different things I've heard or whatever that just might be interesting to discuss in terms of communication or I don't know, just something like that, just to chat about. Or I could just respond or react to videos. I know that's kind of popular too, like Asmongold or some of those other people. He does a decent amount of political stuff, though. I would try to probably avoid that, but... Oh, they're 5 AP? I just realized that. Okay, so Abyssal Mask be extremely good this game. That'll help Kaisa and Vlad and me do damage, and they'll do like no damage. I don't know, unless I need Locket. Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to entertain myself. But you too!
I guess that worked. I mean, he cleared the wave when he ran through it. I mean, he flashed and missed the auto, right? I don't know. I don't think it was like so close.
Don't leave nothing. Bring it on. I'm gonna show people some of the strange.
I don't think it was so secure that I could hand that off. I don't know what I want to get next. I guess let's do it that way. Definitely want Mercs. I don't think I got the XP.
Danger is as fun as you let it be. Gotta get myself hyped. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Woo! All right. Isaiah says someone has to die, then die.
An enemy has been slain.
Humans claim is yours. I need to see if people can see how awesome I am. It's all filthy and dangerous. And that's why I love it.
An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
They will remember my name.
It just feels like he's always moving so fast. I don't know where he is.
I want the thing.
Has been slain.
God, it is annoying. I have to like not stand close to her, I think.
Ain't nothing I say.
You gotta ult out of it, man. Oh, she's not 5. I guess that's the thing.
I've been kicked around since I was born. It's all right. It's okay. I'm staying alive.
I kind of need to go buy, but
Fun. Now.
I mean, they're just gonna come sit on us because we're like a kill every time. At least she's not really worth that much more. I can't stay. There's no way.
An ally has been slain.
Look right. Oops. Time to show it.
I mean, he really can't. He's not that far ahead. They just got a really weird ass comp that's like spiking right now.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
I'm gonna live forever. I'm just trying to
An enemy has been slain.
I'll fall behind.
magic isn't supposed to be safe.
What else could I get? I mean, I could get... What's like another heavy AP item or MR item?
I can't wait to see what I'm gonna do.
Obviously Abyssal Mask, or just like a heavy HP item maybe. Warmogs is kind of trash. I mean, maybe it's just Locket after one thing is to help other people out more.
They ain't ready for what I'm bringing. For humans, magic is like fire. For us, it's water.
Okay, now she's at least got Kraken.
I miss Saya.
Rampage.
Oh, she got blocked on her jump. Okay, there we go.
They've never seen moves like mine.
I don't know where Nunu is, or Annie. Okay, Nunu's right there.
Destroyed a turret.
Nice. Alright. We might just go for boot upgrade. Like, the movement's good, and then the extra magic shield, I think, is pretty good, too. Hey, what's up, Sam? No, it's totally fine, Sam. I know. I know it's good. It's all good-natured. I mean, it is kind of silly. It's a 20-minute stream. But no, I would never think you were saying anything that was, you know, mean-spirited. Feel bad. I need to get on more. Maybe I can sooner. If I can... I was actually on top of most of the cleaning, so if I can just, like, continue to be on top of that. It takes a lot less time just to maintain than to have to do some, like, crazy stuff. Now, the real level up is if I can get the kids to consistently pick up after themselves. That would be tremendous.
It don't take a lot of words to tell the truth.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're just kind of running over. Like we had a bit of a rough start, but it's all good. Yeah, thanks. I mean, in an ideal world, I would like to play at least 3 games. Do I help him with this? I'm not sure. I guess just to be safe, I will. It might be kind of a waste of tempo, but because I don't really do any damage. But I can zone. If somebody else shows up, I can help a little bit. And I get experience. I don't know. I'll have to look up if that like splits experience or not. I need to put better wards down.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
There's Nami.
I dance because I'm free.
Alright. Well, I guess we're staying. I mean, it's not a huge deal.
This looks like another dangerous situation. Thankfully, I can improvise.
Should probably try to use my ult before I back.
I feel like my allies aren't recognizing how amazing my cloak is. Serious. True.
Alright, I need to go get more wards now. That fast back. Yeah, I guess we'll just do Locket. Armor is kind of a waste, but being able to help other people through like anti-burst is helpful.
Humans call magic, we call light.
Just making him miss some CS. He's always chasing me. It's fine. This is anti-fun.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
If you weren't a little frightened, you ain't alive. I don't need anything but the right man.
Man, there's a ton of roses spawning around this dude.
They gonna love it.
Oh my god. Oh my god, are they gonna, they're gonna fucking get the thing? Well, maybe not. It looks like they might be trying Dragon instead. Yorick's just gonna take the inhibitors top, though. Nah, they won't do it. If I would've hit that W, that would've been nice, but he's moving so fast. I thought I had to predict where he was gonna go.
Magic is to plunge into it. Move with it. Dance. Dance.
Oh, he's running. Okay, nice.
Humans talk about their dreams. We talk about things. They
God,
will
what is...
see my
that's slow.
I don't want a world.
Hey, what's up, Grizzly? Good to see you, friend. Mostly Rakan.
I am only a child of
Occasionally I'll play some other engaged supports, but I'm mostly Rakan. I'm gonna try to get back to doing some support tier lists. I haven't done those in a while. I'm kind of much lower view count, much less content than I used to do years ago, unfortunately. I mean, it's for good reason. It's like, you know, I've got more work, more kids, more house to clean, you know, stuff like that. But I'm gonna see if I can at least do the tier list. Again, I've never been like challenger or anything like that. The highest I've been diamond a few times over the years, but
An enemy has been slain.
so I have like some decent middling, knowledge of the game, but I think a lot of people just like coming for the, old man talk and just hanging out, chatting, talking about how your day was, all that kind of stuff. Kind of like a Cheers of OGs that have been here for a while at this point. I guess Cheers is like a super dated reference too. Oh, that's a fail. Okay. Still got the assist though, that's nice. But I am I do teach English at a major American university too, so if you ever, have any questions or want any advice about academics or writing, effective communication, anything like that, I got you covered. Yeah, I've been playing since season 1, so I've been around a little bit.
I don't need to understand the plan.
Oh, cool, man. No, Rakan's awesome if you're newer because he's so versatile. I think he is one of the more difficult champs to fully master just because there's so many choices you can make. Like, how are you going to sequence your jumps? And it's really easy to get greedy with him, to try to just tag that one extra person with your charm, or to go just a little deeper to get that W on a backline target. But once you get him down, I think he's one of the better one-tricks. Because people very rarely pick him in solo queue, even if he's totally dominating in pro. I feel like we're way too far. So that means, like, he's not going to get picked away from you a lot. He's not going to get banned a lot. And he's almost always, like, pretty good. Like, he really doesn't have that many very bad matchups. Like, there are some things that are annoying, things that stop mobility. Poppy, Veigar, stuff like that. But they're usually pretty rare, and they're also not super common in the meta. So I think I've probably got a Rakan guide out there somewhere. I could make a new one. I need to make a new one for this season, but it's pretty much, I just play him a lot. I've played probably thousands of Rakan games pretty much since he came out in the end of season 7. Or like, I guess, February season 7. I think it was Valentine's Day of that year. I've played him a ton. Yeah, engaged champs are definitely a lot. I think they're harder to pick up than enchanters, but I think once you get used to them, it does give you a lot more kind of control over the game if you make good decisions. I mean, you can feed on them really easily if you're playing Leona, Nautilus, Rakan, if you make a bad choice on the engage. But if you make good choices, then you're able to make plays, get your team back in the game. And if you play with your friends a lot, if you guys play, Flex or Clash or whatever, it frees up your team comp a lot more so that your jungler and top laner can play carries instead of having to play engage. And it's not bad even if you have multiple forms of engage. If you're jungler and you want to play engage, even better. But it does, kind of guarantee that someone on your team is going to have some engage if your buddies like to play carry champs. So that is handy. And a nice thing about Rakan, too, that I really like compared to other engages is you can go in and you can get out. like at the same time. So not only is he really good engage, but if the situation turns south, jungler counter ganks you, or just something weird happens, you need to get out of there, you can get out, right? Versus most engage, when you go in, your Leonas, your Nautilus, all that kind of stuff, you're in. And if it goes south, you're going to die. But with Rakan, he's also one of the safest supports in the game, because you can almost always get away as long as you don't get chain CC'd. You can always find a way to get away. And he's very good at vision control, which is, you really want that if you're going to play engage champs, to make sure the jungler doesn't counter gank you. Because he has that free dash he can just do over walls almost any time. So you can get really good, deep quality wards in their jungle and basically get wards that would be too risky for many other supports to try to get. He can do it safely. And you can contest their pink wards or their red wards a little bit better. He's got good vision control, good engage, good escapes. He can peel also because he's got that shield. If they have assassins and things like that have a lot of mobility, you can protect targets really well. Because usually you're going to run Guardian, you've got your double shield on your E, and often you're going to have Locket. So it's really hard for someone to burst an important target when you're standing next to him. So yeah, I just love him. I think he's awesome. The only real downsides, like I said before, is he's quite a bit squishier than many other engaged champs. So you got to be careful. If you do get caught, if you do get CC'd, you might get blown up. I think the new-ish warding items, I don't remember, I guess this was last season, so it's probably old at this point. But this Celestial Opposition is extremely good for Rakan, because that makes it really hard for them to blow you up quickly when they CC you. And then usually you'll survive long enough to get out of the CC and get away with your E. So this is a huge item for him. Mercury Tread's usually pretty big. And he's versatile in terms of the items. Not only his gameplay, but the items he can get. There's a lot of different things you can do. Typically, tank stuff, like team help tank stuff is going to be good. So like your Locket, your Knight's Vow, that's good. But, if you want to help out and just kind of double down on the team fight, you can do Locket plus Redemption, because he gets a lot of value out of Redemption. His shield is really strong. Even compared to Enchanters, it's like 140, 140. So it's like a 280 base shield, and it's got like a 1.4 ratio, I think, AP ratio. So AP and healing and shielding power is actually pretty good on him. So you can even get into stuff like, Redemption if you really want to. Locket Redemption. When other enchanter items have been really OP in the past, he could still use them well, like Ardent Censer, Staff of Flowing Water. Those are both kind of questionable these days on Rakan. Shirelia's. So you got a ton of different options. I really don't like Zeke's on him that much. I know a lot of people do like that, but they've nerfed the damage on it a lot. If you really need the extra slow, I think it's pretty good. I unfortunately have to get out of here in a second, but I can give you a little bit more advice on him. Mikhail's is another one that he can get as an engage that most engages can't really get. So, if they have really long CC, it depends on which elo you're playing at, but if you're just kind of newer to the game, you're playing with your friends, you might get a little bit less value out of Mikhail's, because people might still die even if you cleanse them. But you can see if they have like Ashe or Morgana or some of these like, 2 or 3 second binds, Mikhail's can be good. And things that are binds and not stuns, you can get yourself out of those too. So you can get yourself out of a Morg or a Lux bind. Both of those are kind of tricky. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for most advice. If you're not sure what to get in most games, I think Locket's just almost always a safe, like, decent bet. And then second, I would usually probably go something like a Knight's Vow or a Redemption if you're ahead or you're just team fighting a lot. Those would be the main items I'd get. Shirelia's is a little riskier. It has a lot of upside, but you're way squishier if you get that item. And Trailblazer is pretty good too, but you don't have the ability Haste. And Rakan really, really likes ability Haste because all of his abilities, or at least his ones that matter, the W, the E, and the R, are pretty long cooldowns. So it does lack the ability haste, but it's still like, it's a pretty good item, especially if you think you might roam around a lot. And then I would usually get a defensive boot. Ionians are popular and they are good, but they've been nerfed so many times. You're a lot squishier, but they can be good. So if you're, again, dominating or the enemy team's low damage, Ionians can be good. But I think Mercury Treads, if they have, 2 or 3 pieces of CC, any magic damage on their team, Mercury Treads are really good. And sometimes even plated steel caps, if they have like 4 ADs on their team, could be okay. And then as far as just runes, I would just go standard Guardian. I really like Demolish over Font. Getting those extra tower plates really adds up. And then, whatever you need here. I think Second Wind is usually pretty reliable. A lot of people like Bone Plating. Second Wind's usually against double ranged bottom, and Bone Plating's against an all-in champ bottom. And then I would probably do Revitalize most of the time, especially if you think you might get Redemption. And if you're getting Locket, it helps out with those. And then secondaries, Grizzly Mementos for the extra warding I think is pretty good. And I really like Ulti Hunter because you have a really high impact ult. You should almost always be able to get a kill every time that's off cooldown. So that's what I like to do. There's a couple other like secondaries that people get, but Deep Ward's also fine too. I think Sixth Sense is pretty garbage. And some people have tried like Glacial Augment. That was a thing in the past, but I really don't recommend that. I just think you're too squishy this day and age. Okay, but that's it. I gotta get out of here. Hopefully that helps you out. Look forward to seeing you again, Grizzly. Hopefully you dominate with your friends. Come by, talk about your masters too. I don't know, which field you're in, but I'd love to hear about it sometime. And other than that, that's it. Thanks. Have a good day, and we'll see you back next time.